Well, so I got off work a little early since the machines have been breaking down today, and we finally got them started just a little before quitting time. We run a batch or two of blocks and shut it down. I had to do mold change in it for a different block. But anyway, I know this tree right here, it's been going up pretty high. I want to cut that all down and then prune it side to side, whatever I need pruned. That branch right there is a little low. I think I'm going to take it all, and then that branch and this branch here probably off, or at least shorten them down, because I think one thing, I've got this, I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but it's kind of diseased looking stuff, blight or something, I'm not sure what it is. And I blame it partially on just way too many branches, too hairy, way too hairy. So this one, I took a branch off here, one off there, and this little one, I trimmed it down to 4 places it can still pop out, branch out and make some fruit maybe. And this one I took down some. So since it's warming up this week, I thought I'd try to do this quick. And this one, it's been dying off quite a lot. So I have a new branch here and a new one here and a new one beside it. So one of those for sure has to go. Maybe I can keep 2 here. Maybe not. I don't know. But I want to get the saw out of the shop. I do want to take the old ones off and just get rid of them. But then my grapes I had pruned last year. I may have to prune on this little blueberry stalk some. But then my grapes I had taken back to almost right down to the main vine. And you can't see it much right now, but they vined out a lot. I mean, that one has a lot of different vines. So I'm going to go back to the main vine again. 2 of them there. Possibly 2 there, but all the rest can pretty much come off of there. Because from here to April, any suckers I take off and stuff, they can pop back really, really quick. Which this one, I don't know if it's worth keeping or not. I may keep this one. And then, I don't know. I'll see once I start trimming. And then my elderberries, they need to go back down to the stumps. They really spread out, like they were all the way down here, but they weren't producing all that well for as many stalks, so they just keep coming out every year, just pop, 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 all over. Anyway, so right there, they all need to just be chopped down very close to the ground, and they'll sprout right back out. I left my chestnut tree because I thought we may or may not be using chestnuts, but I'm thinking it may be time for that to go away too, because these chestnuts lay around here and we haven't done a thing with them yet. So I'm thinking once the saw comes back, it's time to do some sawing. Get those out of here. And then this tree I kept because I thought it was apple. I guess it's apple, but it's more of a blooming or some kind of crab apple. And then that's the same thing. And I tried to do a little homemade graft here, which didn't work out very well. I get too in a hurry when I do stuff and don't. That one wasn't done right, but I got some starts for apples, so as soon as I get these trimmed out, maybe I can start digging some holes and then just chop these crabapple trees out of the way is what I'm hoping to do. And then there's a, I think that one there's a mulberry. It needs to be shortened down again. I had shortened it. I think that one was a white mulberry there. And then that one of them was purple, one of them was white. But that one there, I've taken it down quite a bit, but it's just too tall. It needs to come down to these, and some of these around here need to come off too, but I don't know if I get all that done tonight. I'll see how far I get. I definitely want to do the bigger fruits first. So I've got, this apple tree has decent apples when it has it, but I think it's just too hairy overall too. So when it has apples, it doesn't produce a lot of big apples in the end result. But so I took branches off of this one, because as you can see, bark or the stump looks old, and ouch. And that there, it just looks like it's rotting. So I got quite several of these started last fall, and they seem to want to bud out, so I want to get those planted what I can. That one there I don't think did anything, but these 5 of them here. So if I wanted to, this year or next year, I could whack this tree off and be done. And then my magnolia, it took off my red bud over there, right other side of the metal there. It took off really nice. Probably needs a trimming too, but like I said, I'm going to focus on the big fruits, peach and the plum tonight, maybe the grapes. Well, here's the apple tree. It was way up there, now it's way down there. So I don't know if I got exactly right or not. I tried to minimize the branches and kind of shorten them in width-wise. Brought them down to better working height. And I don't know that I'm done down here, but this is what's left over of my mulberry. I think I want this main trunk further down, probably down to the ground. The main trunk, and then that one, and kind of say that Y, and then this thing here is about the height I could use it. That's my purple mulberries, I believe. And then here's my, pretty sure this is my white mulberry right here. This was on the property. So that's my apple, my mulberry, and the other mulberry. Now, there's the one little peach tree I had done. That little peach tree I had done. This thing got a mighty haircut. But that one, not sure if I'm done with this one here. I really don't think I am. Anyway, this was all the way bushed out here, and I cut it down quite a lot. Not sure what all. I mean, honestly, it probably should just go in a sense. Unless I can, that scars from cutting, but a lot of this stuff, I don't know if that's good or horrible for it. It's got that all over. I think it's had it ever since we got the property. I think this is the one that was on the property when we got it, and I believe this may have been on the property. Plum tree, I saved 2 of them, 2 the Y coming up, suckers that were suckering out of the tree, but the main trunk, it just did not look good at all. The blueberry, I didn't do a whole lot with it because I'm not sure. I think that's about the right amount for what it is. And then the grapes, they were all the way up here covering all this. Got them down to mostly 2 coming up. Of course, this starts with 1. Then it winds off, but try to minimize them so they don't have so much to feed to. This one has still got the main trunk, so I just kept going with that. But then I cut that because it came over here good enough, but it was kind of diseased looking too. So I kind of try to keep the best, but also stuff I can train. This is probably plenty big, but all the other suckers coming off from there were either diseased looking or just so close together, and so it was hard to pick exactly which one. And then the others were just short and just didn't look like they had a whole lot of healthy growth. This one I just kept the main 2 that I had before. Fence is kind of ragged from, should have put a different setup here anyway, but I can pull it up here up top a little bit, put a board or something on there. Or I can put some screws or nails up there to hang it. It'll be fine for another year. And here's my elderberries. Good thing about elderberries, you can take them all the way down. And the bad thing is we got briars in here. Every year those come up again. Briars and vines. But yeah, I took these, I left this one fairly long, that one and that one, just to kind of know what I want to keep, and then that short one down there, probably keep it. Otherwise, all the ones around the outside here, I'll all the way around, I'll just keep clipping those off. But I believe about as far as I can go with pruning. These, I just planted these, I forget now, was it before the COVID hit or a little after? I think it's a little before. They're not doing too terrible for pine. They say pine is usually a little bit more slow grower. They ain't too terrible bad. I still got trees on the neighbors there I could probably be working on if I wanted to, but I feel like I need to use my time to do building a little bit more. If I knew I had the finances, I'd just pay somebody to do it and get it over with. Got 2 walls on that before it got real cold this winter. But yeah, here's what was my crab apple. That stump right there is all over here. So maybe I can plant a couple young apple trees out tonight before I clean up. Anyway, that's the pruning process.